everyone, this is Lori from the Crafting Auntie, back with you with another video. Welcome all my new subscribers and all of those of you that have been with me. I'm glad you're here today. So I want to do a little tutorial today, and I want to create an Esther Devotional. So this is a kit that is from Carolyn Musing shop, and it's absolutely gorgeous, the papers, and I'll show you most of these as we begin going through the process. But for right now, I want to work on the cover. And I want to make this kind of chunky, but I also want to do a gatefold. So I'm going to do probably a 1-inch spine, and that'll give me some room to decorate and also do the gatefold. So you're going to need 2 pieces of cardstock. This is pretty heavy cardstock, so it's probably more like 80 pound, I would think. I don't think it's quite 110, but it might be. And 2 the same color. So the first piece, all you're going to do is take your paper trimmer and trim off the 8.5 side to 8 3/8. So we're just going to do a little trim. Not much. Whoops. I need to line that up a little better. That's straight. There we go. And then we're going to just set that piece aside. This piece, we're also going to cut it down to 8 3/8. And then we're going to cut 2 pieces that are 3 3/4 wide. This is going to be the front of our gatefold. So 3 3/4. And that's it for the cutting. Now we're going to take our scoreboard, and on the small pieces, on the 3 3/4 side, we're going to just score at 1 inch. Whoops. And score at 1 inch. Okay, and that'll be the front. And then on this piece, we are going to score at 1.5 and then 2.5. So 1.5, and then the 2.5 gives us our 1-inch spine. Turn it around and do 1.5 and 2.5. Oops. And that's it for the scoring. Okay, now let's crease all of our folds. So this is our bottom base. So it'll go like this, and then let's score these. And this is pretty beginner friendly, I think. And then these will get glued onto the side, which will become our front closure. So when they are glued on and we get this straightened up, they will come pretty close to being together, but not totally together, because we want to have some room in here as well. And also, once we get the pages in, we'll see how much room. And you may want to put a little lace or anything, but you just kind of want to have a little bit of give in here. So the next thing we're going to do is just glue these spines right here. Right onto the spine here. So we just line it up just like that, and then press it down, and then you are going to just go ahead and glue this down as well. Just like that. And it just kind of reinforces the front. Okay? And then we'll do the same thing on this side. If If you want them more close together, you certainly can adjust this to whatever it is that you like. I'm just going to roll with this. So whatever you like to do, then that's what I would do. So if you like them more close together, then yeah, go ahead and do that. But if you don't, then just continue to do it this way. All right. So now let's refold this and crease it because it's doubled up, but it gives us that sturdiness. They should come together about like that. So if we were to take both of our journals, and they're going to get glued in to one side. I mean, not glued in. They're going to be sewn in, or I'm going to be using eyelets and elastic. I'm not really sure. So, we're going to have probably a little bit of a gap here, and that's totally fine because you can add lace and decorate it any way that you want. So what would happen is this would end up on one side, and this would come over. So that's kind of what we're looking at. Okay, so what I want to do now is cover these pieces with paper. So I've chosen this one. It's pretty much the right height. I don't have any problem there. So I just need to cut some pieces that are, so I think we're going to do 2 5/8. And I think I want to do like on each side, I think. Let's see. I kind of like this one. So let's do 2 5/8. So that'll be for one side. And then let's do 2 5/8 here. And I don't know quite yet what I'm decorating with. Now let's see if our middle piece, okay, it's short. Oh, let's do 2 more of these then for the inside covers. So let's do another 2. Sorry, I had this pulled away from the camera. 2 5/8 and 2 5/8. So that should do our inside flaps and outside. Okay, so that's those. And then we need a piece that is, this is just a hair over 6. I think I'm going to go to 5 3/4. So let's do a piece 5 3/4. And again, I'm going to be decorating this, so I'm not really too worried. 5 3/4, perfect. And then I'll have to get another piece to do the very back, so I'll worry about that one later. Okay. Let's see, this piece is not glued down very well. Let's give it a little bit more glue. And over here as well. You could cut these off if you want to. I just chose to keep them on to strengthen the front. I think it's always good to have that. So let's give this a nice press. Okay. Find my pin. I got a new bottle, and my my little pin dangle kind of fell apart, so I need to work on fixing it, and we're doing a new one. Okay, let's do walnut stain. I think this is a darker one, so let's go with that. And so I'm going to ink all around all the edges. I'm not going to worry about the dark brown cardstock because you're not going to see it anyway, but definitely you will see this. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm using walnut stain. So I'm going to finish doing the inking, and then I'll be back. Okay, everything is inked. So I want to put these two on the inside flaps. So I'm just going to add the glue all around, and we'll get these glued down. Still thinking what I'm going to be doing on the very front of the cover. I'll show you some things that I printed smaller, so I'm not quite sure what else I'm going to be adding to it. So we'll take a look at that in a little bit. And I will eventually cover actually I think I'll go ahead and cut the pieces. So I just need 4 that are just a hair under 1 inch. So I'm going to do 7/8, and I'll just cut 4 of these. So I think what we'll do is we will have the cover hopefully completed, and I do want to get the signatures in, and then I'll come back and do some decorating. Okay, so there's my 4 pieces, and I'll just ink them as I go to put them on. So let's see, I think I will put these 2 on the inside and these 2 on the outside. Go ahead and do that while we're doing this. So this also will reinforce the spine area, even though we've already got a double. And I think I've decided I do want to do elastic binding and eyelets, so that way I can still take them out and do some decorating. So I think that would be a much better way of doing it. So we'll get these down, lining them up. Okay, and then our back piece, just centering. It's going to have a little bit wider border on that. I am totally fine with that. Could have cut it wider, but I didn't, so I'm rolling with it. And that's what junk journaling is all about. You don't always have to have perfection. And you're not going to see much of this anyway. So, yeah. That looks good. And then let's do this one. I love the walnut distress ink with this paper. I think it really brings out the detail in it. I think it's cute, gorgeous. And Carolyn is an amazing digital artist. If you have not looked her up, you definitely need to find her. I will link everything below. And what I like about Esther, if you have read the story in the Bible, she is a courageous woman, and her main thing that she talks about is, if I perish, I perish. So she's trusting God, and she's trying to save her people from the evil Haman. So if you haven't read the story, it's an excellent story in the Bible, true story, of course. And she's just a very courageous woman. She trusted God. I mean, she just completely trusted God. That was one of the things that I found when I did my Hannah study, was trusting God. Okay, I want to crease these again. Let's just give them a little press here. It's much thicker here, but I'm okay. I'm okay because I like having that stronger spine. Let's crease this side again. In here. So we've got a nice sturdy cover. Okay, so now let's go ahead and cover the outside. And I want to use these, so I think like this. I don't think it's really directional, so I'm going to just do them that way. And while I was off inking, I went ahead and printed another piece for the back, and I already cut it and inked it as well. So the only pieces I need to ink are the 1-inch ones. We'll do those as we put them on. So with Carolyn's devotionals, you get a lot of gorgeous papers. You also get a lot of ephemera. And there is also a folio kit, which I have been making off camera, that I want to put on the inside. Probably in the center somewhere. And so I'll be doing that as well. So yeah, there's lots of pieces to go with it, and then the additional folio kit if you wish to have that. So I'll link everything if you're interested in it, and also check out her shop for everything else. So I've done the Naomi and Ruth devotional. Now I'm doing Esther, and I have all of them for the ladies in the Bible. And so I want to do Mary Magdalene also. So that'll be coming up at some point in time in my crafty space. Whether I do it on camera or not, I'm not sure. But I definitely will be wanting to make it. Maybe I'll come up with a different idea as far as a cover on that one as well. So let's just go ahead and put these on. And then we'll have our cover covered. And then we can figure out what else we want to add. I'll show you some things that I have. So I printed these. Normal size, they're much larger. Let's see. See if I can find them here. Yeah. So normal size, they're pretty good. They're pretty good sized. So I shrunk it down. It didn't give me percentage. I had to select 5x7. So these are much smaller because I thought that they might go with the front. And there's 4 different ones. So let's see. Let me get them all spread out here. And right side up. So prepare to make sacrifices. Let the beauty within you shine. Influence others for good. And you are insignificant. So I'm kind of thinking of adding some of this on here. How? I'm not quite sure yet. But I'll work through that. And then I think I want to add also some laces. Because, you know, she married the king, so she's got some royalty there. So I need to make it look gorgeous for her. Okay. And also these extra gap that I have on the inside and on the outside. On the inside, I'm not concerned about it at all. You're not going to see much of it. But on the back, I might add some laces. So that gives me an opportunity to do that. Turn this around. So I'm just going to make it even. It's going to have that little gap on each side, but that's all right, as long as it's even. Okay. All right. So there is our cover. It's coming together nicely. Now, the closure. I think I'm going to wait on the closure, but for right now, let's go ahead and figure out where we want to put the eyelets. So I want this in on this side, and it's pretty tall, so I just have like a tiny bit of room on each side. So I think what I'm going to do is just on the top and the bottom, so it's going to be on the left-hand side. We're going to punch 2 holes here and 2 holes here. And then I'll put the eyelets in. So let me grab the eyelets. I'm thinking some dark ones. Thinking these. So this is my eyelet box if you haven't seen it. I get these from Harbor Freight, and they're individual containers, so I have everything all sorted. So they're nice. If you're in the U.S., Harbor Freight has these. At least mine does. Hopefully the other ones do. So these are kind of like, what is this, like the vintage golden. So we're going to use 4 of these. And then I'm just going to use my Crocodile in the large setting. And I'm just going to punch 2 holes. I'm not measuring. I am just winging it. And I'm going as close to the top and the bottom as I can. Perfect. Okay. Now we'll get these set. Well, these are a little larger. Let me see if I have my smaller ones. Yes, I do. I keep forgetting some of these are a little larger and then I have to make the hole larger. But the We Are Memory Keeper ones are actually a perfect size. So I think I'll use these instead. So we'll get 4. And I like the We Are Memory Keepers. It's just getting harder and harder to try to find, I think it's called the warm colors. Yeah. I found some on Blick, and now they're out of stock. I couldn't find them on Amazon anymore. They didn't know when they were going to get them in. And of course it's all the vintage colors that I like. But anyway, if this wasn't too close to the edge, I would have used the other ones and just made the hole just a little bit bigger. But because we're very close to the edge, I did not want to do that. Oops. And you could trim the papers down even a little more, and I may have to, just so that they set in here nicely. But you know, that's the beauty of having an elastic binding, is because you can take them in and out. Okay, so we've got that on now. And let's see. I have some elastic out, but I'm not sure which color would go with this. Kind of thinking maybe the black. I got this whole group off of Amazon as well, so it's a whole big stack. I wish they had brown in it, but they don't. And this is just a very tiny elastic cord. So let's just get some of this off. And then we're going to go, I want to go up. And then across. It's been a while since I've done this. And then up and across. And then ending up in the center. So we will have 2 signatures, so we'll have 2 pieces of elastic. Get a hold of it with my finger. And I'm just going to cut a piece, and we'll have it loosely now. We can always tie it much tighter. There we go. Okay. Now let's just set this in here. Let's see how it looks. So we've got that one, and then this one. I haven't inked all the edges of my signatures either, so there's still lots of things to do. Okay, but it's coming together nicely. I think we want to go ahead and put the closure on. So let me see how we're doing here. In the closure, I will be using some brads. And I want a little bit of a gap because I want this to be bright. So let me just take my pencil and make some marks. This part can be just a little bit tricky. So let's just do 1/2 at a time. So I think I want this one here. And I'm going to be using glue as well as brads. And on the other side, we can just cover it up. That's not a problem. Let's see if I can see my marks. These a little bit bigger. Okay. And then put this side on. Right about there. Can be a little tricky. Okay. Brads. I think what I want to use are, let's see, what I have. Too tiny. I think I want these. No, I don't think the head's big enough. Let's make sure. What else do we have here? We have these. Yeah, let's use these. Just grab a bunch out to make sure I get the right color. Okay, and I'm gonna grab my pokey tool from my stitching kit. Got that. And then we'll poke the holes. Let's do this side first. Just be careful you don't poke yourself. There we go. And then I'm going to add the glue to the back of this. I want to make sure we get this the right way. So it needs to go this way. My plan is not to put any lace on the edges here. I like it the way it is. Okay, so that pressed on and add a brad. Just make sure your legs are going up and down on the brads. And then we're going to cover that up anyway. And let's see, this one in. Oh, I'm sorry. Here I am off camera. Apologize for that. Okay, so there's this. And then this side. Make sure this is going to line up. Looks like it. Okay. One, two, three, and four. Okay. We'll add the glue on the back of this. Let's just make sure that it's going to stay in place, because if not, if you don't add the glue, you will get some movement, wiggle movement out of your brads. So it's always best to add some of the glue. It even makes it stronger anyway. Okay, so again, just make sure the legs are going up and down. And insert all your brads. These legs are nice and long too, so if you happen to have a thicker cover, these would work great. Okay, so 2 more to go. One here. Let's get that turned around. And like I said, we're going to cover these up with something else on this side anyway. So we're good. Okay, so there is our closure, which will go like this. I love it. So let's see. And then as this grows, this is going to kind of bulk up and spread out a little bit, so that's good. All right, so this. I have no idea what to do. It's already really pretty the way it is, but I think I want to do something else. So I am going to think about that and work on it, and then I'll come back to you. Okay, I think I have a plan. So I took some sari silk. So I took some of this, and I then took it to my sewing machine, gathered it up, and ran a stitch. And this is just a gold thread. I thought I would glue this here. I've added pop-up tape to these, so I thought I would add those there. And then I have these beads that are flat, and they're double-stranded, so I thought I would take them apart and maybe glue some of these on here. So that's kind of my plan, I think. So let's see, the first thing I want to do is I think I want to get this put on here. So for that, I will use my Fabri-Tac. So let's go ahead and add a bead here, right into the center. And then we'll get this stuck down. And with sari silk, it just really kind of always adds something to it. So I kind of want to come over to the edge like this, not too far over. Make sure that's down good. And then we'll do the same thing on this side. And I have ironed the sari silk before and then ruffled it, and I decided not to. This time I decided just to keep it the way it was and then just make my ruffles. Not looking for perfection. So just keep pressing it down just to make sure it's going to be on there good. So then this one would go here, and this one would go there. That's kind of what I'm looking for, I think. Beads. Let's go ahead and do the beads as well. Get those on. So we'll cut these here. And then I'll just cut them right down the middle. And even if there's some little threads hanging out, I'm not worrying about that. Should just tuck nicely, hopefully right into the sari silk ruffle. My plan anyway. See how that goes. Sometimes we have a plan. It doesn't always work out the way we want it. But that's okay. So let's take a look. See how we like this. I think so. I think that adds something. Okay, so I'm just going to add the glue right down the center and then just get these put on as straight as I can. And they love to twist and have the backs on the top. So just, yeah, if you have these, just take your time. I've had these in my stash, so I don't know where you can buy them. You could probably look up bead strands and see, if there's something out there that you can find. Okay, I think I like that. Okay, I'll do the same thing on this side. Trying to get them as straight as I can. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and peel the backing off of this. This is a foam tape. You can use any kind of foam tape you want. If you don't want it popped up or you don't have foam tape, you can always put pieces of cardstock underneath it folded, and that would do the same thing. So we're going to put this one right here. Press that down good. Let that tape do its job. And then we'll do the same thing here. And again, I wanted to do something just different. probably add a word onto this too from the kit. So I'll look at that as well. So I'll put this one right about here. Something else you might consider, and I thought of considering doing, and I still can do it if I want to, is you can also add some of the resin and bring out those butterflies. So I can still do that because I do have the UV light where I can set this whole thing underneath, but I'm just going to give it some time and look at it and then see. And let's see, I think I have a whole bunch of ephemera that is over here to be cut, and then I'll be using it. So there's all these words, and I think I want to put something on here. I think let's do my scissors, selfless, cut this out, and let's do courteous. No, noble. Let's do noble. And we'll see if we can make these work on the outside cover as well. When I did the Naomi and Ruth, I think I put a bide, and I just thought that that was fitting. So I'm not sure we're going to use both of these or one of these. Let's see, let's get our other one cut as well, and then we'll ink them up and see if we want them both or if we just want one. Okay, let me give these an ink. Maybe down here. Do we want to back these? I think we do. I think we want to back them on this brown cardstock as well. So I have a piece that I can use. So let's just glue these onto here. I'm just going to give it some room so I can have a little border around it. Not too much of a border because I don't have all the space, but a little bit. Okay, let's use our puff tape. Let's do that. Put a little bit on the back of each. And then I think we're done with the cover. So then I'm gonna come back on another video and we will do some decorating together. I know it's not going to show up, but I'm still going to ink around this anyway. Okay, so how about right here? Let's make sure that that's straight. I think that doesn't look very straight, Lori. How about we try that again? Okay. And this one. Then we're just going to let this dry. How about here? Make sure this is straight. Okay. Okay. That's our cover. I do like it. I do like it. I love the closure, of course. And love the sari silk and the beads. I think this looks really good here. So let's just kind of give that another little press. And then we open it up, and there's our journal. So I'll be covering this up, don't know with what yet, probably some of the same paper just to make it look nice. And then I will come back and we will do some decorating on another video. Okay, I just wanted to really come out and do this with you guys together. I hope you enjoyed it. Please go out and check Carolyn Musing. She's amazing. There's also a Facebook group, One Way Journals, And yeah, it's amazing. There's also her YouTube channel, but I just really, really love all of her devotionals, and I will be making more of those, either to give as gifts or to friends or for myself to do a devotional like I did on Hannah. Okay, you guys all have a great day, and I hope you give this a try. We'll see you next time. God bless you all. Bye-bye.